Alright, everybody, it's time to talk about Shokugeki no Soma, episode 23. Now, as always, this episode was awesome, and I'll explain why. Of course, we're going to talk, just like Block B, with Block A, we're going to talk about the different contestants that were judged in this particular episode. So, let's start with, let's actually go from the bottom to the top. In other words, we're going to start at Nikumi and Ryoko because they had the 86s. So, um, Ryoko had less of an impact than Nikumi as far as how much they focused on in terms of the episode. Um, Simply because Nikumi seems to be I don't know, it seems to be more focused on than Ryoko in general. Despite the fact that she's in Polar Store, Polar Star Dorm. I kind of like put them together. Polar Storm, right? No, Polar Star Dorm. But she had less focus. But anyway, her dish had like natto or whatever it's called, which is typically, as far as I know, it's typically a not like it supposedly like smells really bad and it doesn't even taste that great. According to my Gintama research, I guess you could say, considering if you watch Gintama or read Gintama, you know that what is it? Sachan uses natto, and it always smells when what's Gintoki always points that shit out. But regardless, she the way she did it uh, made it not smell bad and shit like that. So I mean, they even said like I've never tasted natto this delicious. They didn't even realize it could be made that good. So she really pulled through. Like there was a lot of fermentation involved because that's her thing. I think it's like fermented shit. Um, and she's underage. I forget what the legal drinking age is in there, but uh, you know that's a lot of alcoholic shit. So I think. I don't know. I mean, not everything fermented is alcoholic, I don't think, but I don't know shit about alcohol. I'll tell you right now, because I don't. Even though I'm overage, I don't drink, so I don't really give a shit. Um, Not out of principle, but just out of I just don't like it. So whatever. Um, so she did really good, 86. Of course, the fact that I always forget her name, but she was giving zeros to a lot of people, and she didn't give a zero to Ryoko, obviously. Um, because four judges can't make 86. They can make 80 at most. So, uh, Nikumi tying with Sakake Ryoko. Uh, Mito Ikumi. She also came in at 86, and she was named the Meat General instead of Meat Master. Um, yeah, I mean, the way she did the pork with like the layers of fat with the obviously like the more fat you have, the more tender it's gonna be. But at the same time, like if that fat's not rendered properly, you're gonna have a fistful of fat that you can't really eat. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I hate about steaks is like a lot of people when they cook the steaks, there's still the fat on it. Like it's not rendered properly, so like you can't eat it. I don't know. That's just me, but she apparently did render it properly because by the time uh, they were eating it, it was like really tender and it seemed to not be like fat in their mouth. So, um, yeah, and it is interesting how she's leveled up since her Shokugeki against Soma, um, where the the Don is everything in one bowl. Like it all works together. Like in the Shokugeki against Soma, uh, her I think it was her what was it, asparagus, I think, clashed with her steak. Like her side dishes, her side stuff clashed with the meat, and she only focused on the meat really. Whereas in this particular dish, everything works together to create one full curry dish, and so that she learned directly from Soma. She even states it. So yeah, that's a lot of good growth for her because I don't think her tits are gonna grow anymore. Just saying. I I'm stupid, but regardless, whatever. So the 288s, of course. We have Marui and Iwasaki. I'm gonna start with Marui. Marui with the oh yeah, the udon. It's funny because I kind of equate him to udon from Naruto, but that's besides the point. That whole white udon where it's like sort of like a tranquil lake is how they compared it to Kurokiba's dish, which we'll get to at the end, of course. Um, and basically, the whole thing with that was that his like the flavors, so to speak, were like the I think it was the cumin and sort of like all those different things were things that he had researched because he can't last long. Pause. Um, he can't really last that long as far as like physical ability, so he can't cook that long or whatever. So he gets as much knowledge as he can. So like I guess it mitigates the amount of actual legwork he has to do. Whatever. Um, so like that was cool. He gets an 88, even better than Nikumi. So and then of course Iwasaki with also the 88. And so Mr. Smoke, I smoke everything. Mr. 420 Blaze It over here, smokes salt, which I didn't even know was possible before reading the series. It's fucking seaweed salt. Interesting, like burning the salt content of seaweed, um, which I never would have thought is possible to make something like smoked salt. It's very interesting. I mean, he even smoked the fucking eggs, and like they were even making fun of him. The two guys from from Polar Storm, I should start calling it, from Polar Storm, were like making fun of him for the fact that he smoked the fucking eggs of all things. He smokes everything, including maybe or maybe not weed. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. It's just Mr. 420 Blaze It got an 88 as well. So like the whole I mean, there's not much to talk about with him because, like, he smoked everything, including salt. Although I guess he didn't really smoke the coriander and all the other, and the cumin and all the different spices, but whatever. Um, yeah, so 88, good job, Iwasaki. You're in tied for second place right now. Now, the main event of this episode, really, well, compared to Tadakuro, um, this was not as like one-sided. There was a lot more even distribution, but really the whole beginning focused on Kurokiba, and that's who I'm going to focus on right now because he had the highest score of the ones that have gone up so far. Whether or not Hayama and Soma can beat that, I don't know. Well, I know, but you guys who are anime only watchers don't. So you'll have to see. But as far as Kurokiba, um, that man, like, I don't know if they should be calling the cops because he sexually harassed the fuck out of her. Not and not even in a sexual way. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I mean, obviously he didn't directly sexually assault her or anything like that, but the man is like he like comes real close to her and he's like, "You slurp it all up. You slurp it all up and then eat the rice, you bitch." I don't know. Kurokiba's great, especially when he's in berserk mode. It's just too funny. He goes in and out of berserk mode. He takes off his fucking bandana and all of a sudden, huh? Yeah, yeah, I made this. It's good, isn't it? And it puts on this, puts on the head, the bandana. Hey, you, bitch! Taste this fucking dish. Slurp all the juices up. Yeah, no pauses on that, bitch. Just fucking do it, man. I don't know. Just guy goes nuts. It's awesome. But he like gets all up close and is like making her blush to high heaven. Like, yeah, smooth, very smooth, Kuroki. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, obviously it was a great dish. The way the lobster was done and all that stuff. And then, of course, the twist, the Soma-esque twist, where he has drops of the brandy, and you just like stick it in the shell, and it creates a whole new flavor. And he's like, just slurp it all up. And then she's like, I hate to admit it, but I want to do it. And so she takes in all the juices, and yeah. So no no innuendos there, right? No. I think I've already done that to death so far. But so Kurokiba with 93 points. Keeping in mind two things. One, Alice got 95 on Block B, but number two, keeping that also in mind that the judges are not the same. So different standards. Like for example, nobody on the other side was giving zeros, like the sister on Block A. So it's possible that maybe Kurokiba could have gotten a better score on the other side. It's not exactly it's not set in stone, of course, because some judges like some things, some judges like the other, and so it's impossible to tell. Let's just leave it there. Um, but the thing is, he got a 93. He's at number one. Um, if I'll say this, if Soma and Hayama are the only ones left, well, he has a guaranteed spot. Um, I'm just saying that if there are more, maybe not. I'm not saying he gets through. I'm not saying he doesn't. But just saying if Soma and Hayama are the only ones left to be judged, well, you can assume that he's going to get through because, well, the worst he can get in that position is third. Um, Again, I'm not saying that he does or doesn't get through, but keep that in mind. So that's going to be about it. This episode, like I said, was really good. So thank you guys for listening, and I may have a live reaction for next week. I know what I said. I did know what I said. Trust me. You don't have to tell me, but uh, we'll see. I'm gonna leave it up in the air. We'll see. I might do something just for the last episode of the season. You never know. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next time.